So I originally had Rihanna booked to do the halftime show on this week's episode of Kings This Week, but unfortunately she had to cancel it because she got offered to do this thing on Sunday called the Super Bowl, and she couldn't do both in the same week, so she picked the Super Bowl over Kings This Week, and I don't know why she did that, and I couldn't find a replacement. So unfortunately, no halftime show on this week's episode. Welcome back to Kings This Week. My name is Jordan Kiss, and goals is the theme as the Kings and the Bulldogs, two high-scoring affairs this past weekend. We'll recap those momentarily. We'll then preview the big three-game weekend ahead for the Kings. Then we'll also share some news about the upcoming events for the remaining home games here at the HAP for the rest of the season. So we'll start off as we usually do right now with our weekend recap. Friday was game one of the doubleheader between the Kings and the Bulldogs, and the Bulldogs were one of the hottest teams in the BCHL coming into this one, currently riding a 12-game point streak, and they showed why they're one of the hottest teams early on in this game. 31 seconds in, Nick Bendito finding Will Elger in front. Nice move for his 13th to give Alberni the early lead. Then they would make it 2-0 on this Dakota McIntosh goal at 8:46. But the Kings would answer back 16:40. Great play here. Parker Lalonde back in the lineup after missing the last 12 games with injury would feed Carter McNarland in front, celebrating his 20th birthday, scores his 8th of the season as the Bulldogs took a 2-1 lead heading into the second. In period number 2, the Kings would start to roll. The Kings would find themselves shorthanded, down 2 men, 5-on-3 Bulldogs power play. But Cam Simon's good job to get the puck out of the zone, would take it in towards the net, couldn't get a shot away, but Hobie Hedquist would not be able to cover up the puck, and it'll be knocked in by Anthony Lucarelli, his 13th of the season. The second shorthanded goal the Kings scored this year, and that was a big one, as it is 2-2. Then just over 5 minutes later, Bulldogs caught on a bad line change. 5-on-2 for the Kings, and it goes to Sam Schoenfeld. Great move in tight, roofs it over Hedquist, his 3rd of the season, as the Kings take a 3-2 lead. But hold on, Bulldogs didn't go away. 11:23, Cam Van Sickle. Great shot here from the slot, his 13th, back to a tie game at 3. Then just over a minute after that, Brady McIsaac here from the sharp angle. An absolute perfect shot over the shoulder, under the bar, his 2nd, as the Bulldogs took a 1-goal lead, 4-3, going into the 3rd period. Then in the 3rd, the Bulldogs would add one more at the tail end of a power play. Emmanuelson Charbonneau wide open from the left circle, puts it in the open cage to make it 5-3, as that would be the final score in this one. Bulldogs extending their point streak to 13, while the Kings dropping their 4th in a row, while the Bulldogs outshooting the Kings 37-35 in this game. So on Saturday, the Kings would have another opportunity to end the Bulldogs point streak, and it was a much better start here for the Kings, scoring the first goal 2:15 in. Anthony Lucarelli with the shot. Alex Sandu puts in the rebound, his 2nd with the Kings, 3rd of the season, to make it 1-0 Powell River. But hold on, the Bulldogs would rally in the middle portion of that first period, scoring 3 goals in about 7 minutes. First at 8:33 from Dakota McIntosh, his 16th. Then at 14:03, AJ Vasco rips one here past Vanderkoy, his 5th. Then at 15:42, shot and a rebound, Cam Van Sickle puts it in, as that 3rd goal will spell the end of the night for Liam Vanderkoy, who made 5 saves on 8 shots as Kyle Metzen came in. Now the Kings would get one more before time expires. 18:03 here comes to Alexi Van Hook-Cachero in front. Great move to slide it under the sprawling pad of goaltender Campbell Arnold, his 8th of the season, as the Kings trailed 3-2 after a high-scoring first period. Then in the second, the Bulldogs kept on pressing. 1:21 after a power play expired. Will Elger going over Metzen for his 14th to make it 4-2 Alberni. But the Kings starting to find the groove here on a power play of their own. Comes to Parker Lalonde. He shoots. He scores his first goal since returning from injury, his 9th of the season. That makes it 4-3 for the Bulldogs. And at 5:38, 4-on-4, Jack Blanchett finding Alexi Van Hook-Cachero falling down, puts it under the bar. What a goal for his 2nd of the game, 9th of the season, as we're now back to all square 4-4. But just over a minute after that, David Sacco would regain the lead for his team with another great shot here from the slot, 5-4 Alberni. Again, 9 goals so far in this game, but the Kings would have another answer, another 4-on-4 scenario. Anthony Lucarelli would rip one off the crossbar. It would land on the goal line, sitting there for guess who? Jack Blanchett, scoring his 11th of the season as we were tied 5-5 after 2 periods. Then in the third, the Kings building some momentum here midway through. Carter McNarland driving down the right wing, feeds it in front for it's Wilt Jones, puts it in a great play here to get a stick on it. His 3rd of the season as it gives the Kings the lead 6-5. Then they would add one more for insurance, 17:07. Jack Blanchett stopped here at a great save by Arnold, but the rebound to Ryder Ringer, his 6th of the season as the Kings 2 power play goals in this game to seal a big 7-5 victory, ending the 13-game point streak for the Bulldogs. Power plays was struggling coming into this one, not in this game. 2 for 4 on the man advantage, while the Kings heavily outplayed the Bulldogs, deserved the win, outshooting them 45-29. So after a big win on Saturday, the Kings now with a record of 13-22, 3-2 on the season, as they're now 40 games in with 14 games remaining, still sitting in 7th place in the Coastal Conference, 5 points up on the 8th place Rivermen, and 8 points up on the 9th place Capitals, who are still on the outside of the playoff picture. As now the Kings will get set for a big 3-game weekend, with one of those 3 games being played here at home, which will be on Friday, as the Kings take on an old rival and interior conference foe, the Vernon Vipers. The Vipers coming into this one with a record of 19-18-0-4 on the season, 7th place in the interior conference, 1 point behind the Wenatchee Wild for 6th. They're coming off a big win in their last game in a 4-3 victory against the West Kelowna Warriors, where they scored the game-winning goal with 1 second left in regulation. So they're riding high with momentum, as they're also looking to rise in the standings and solidify themselves in a better seed as they get set for the playoffs, as they'll be the last interior conference team to come to Hat Parker Arena this season. Well, the Kings haven't fared too well against interior conference opponents this season. Just the one win, and that one coming back in Trail back in October, where they beat the Smoke Eaters 2-1. So that's Friday here at the Hat Parker Arena, 7 o'clock start. Then on Saturday, the Kings will head over to the Island for another matchup with the Bulldogs. That is a 7 o'clock start again from the Alberni Valley Multiplex. And then they'll wrap up the weekend with a Sunday afternoon game at the Big Stick in Duncan, with a big matchup against the Capitals, who come into this one winning 2 in a row, including a big win over at Langley in their last game. So 7 o'clock here at home on Friday against the Vernon Vipers, on the road Saturday in Alberni to take on the Bulldogs, 7 o'clock, and then to wrap it up 2 o'clock Sunday in Duncan against the Capitals. So 5 home games remain during the regular season here at the Hat Parker Arena. We still got plenty of fun and events to come over the course of the next 5 home games. First off, on this Friday, when the Kings take on the Vipers, Panago will be doing another Pizza Row giveaway, where they'll be rewarding one lucky row of fans with fresh, hot pizza during the game. So be sure to come to that to maybe get some pizza. Always a good thing to have. And then the Kings won't be home until March, when they take on the Victoria Grizzlies, March 3rd and 4th, both at 7 o'clock. March 3rd, it is Western Night, presented by Rural Septic Services. First 500 fans will receive a free mini stick. There will be a toonie draw to win a Yeti cooler, and during one of our intermission games, we'll be giving away a family prize pack. Then the following night, on March 4th, it is Billet Appreciation Night, as we honor all of our wonderful billet families. Then the final 2 home games of the regular season, March 17th and 18th against the Cowichan Valley Capitals. It is a 7 o'clock start on March 17th. And I know you know what day the 17th is in March. It is St. Patrick's Day. So come up in green, come up in your best St. Patrick's Day attire, and we'll be giving away prizes for the best dressed. And then the final home game, March 18th, it's a Saturday, is at a 5 o'clock start. We'll be having a tailgate party here outside the Hat Parker Arena Arena, brought to you by the Salvation Army, which will start at 2 o'clock. And the tailgate party will also feature the Klansman Pipe Band, who will be doing a few performances prior to that game as well. So lots of events to come here at Half Parker Arena. You can get tickets for all those games right now online at tickets.palriverkings.com. And that's a wrap on another episode of Kings This Week. As always, I thank you very much for joining me. Dream Lottery right now, just over a month remaining to get your tickets. The jackpot currently at $27,800. PalRiverKings.com is the place to go to get your Dream Lottery tickets and win that big cash prize. And also stay tuned in a couple days here on our Kings social media, as we'll be announcing details for season tickets for next season. We'll have some special offers as well regarding that, so keep an eye out, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, for next year's season tickets details. Kings in action for 3 games this weekend. First at home here on Friday against the Vernon Vipers, 7 o'clock. Then Saturday in Alberni on the road, 7 o'clock from the multiplex. And then they'll wrap it up Sunday in Duncan, a 2 o'clock start from the Cowichan Community Center against the Capitals. As always, if you can't come to the games, you can join me on the Kings Broadcast Network first on Friday, pregame show starting at 6:45. So until next time, we'll talk to you next week. My name is Jordan Kiss. Go Kings, go.